Welcome back to the Ross Bolen podcast. I am your host, Ross Bolen, here once again with J-Bone for a special Thanksgiving episode. Jared, you're hosting in Austin this year.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
Gobble, gobble, Ross.
Gobble, gobble, Jared.
That's what I want to do to you.
Okay, wow.
I want to just gobble you up.
That's sexually inappropriate. I'm staying in Austin as well, having my mother-in-law over. I'm not sure that qualifies as hosting. It'll just be like one additional person. But I'm stoked to not be traveling. It's a new Thanksgiving thing for me.
Did you go hunt your turkey like you do every year?
Yep, I went. I took my... what do you hunt turkey with? I was going to say shotgun, but I feel like that would just blow the turkey to pieces. That's certainly not what they use.
I hunt them with a baseball bat.
Oh, wow. You're a sick fuck. Part of the beauty of this Thanksgiving week is that it overlaps with the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, which is how you pronounce it, right?
Nobody actually knows. So I did a...
I feel like they've been saying that on TV.
Yeah, that's like what they said is okay. Technically, I watched this video where they're like, technically, the Qataris say it like a G, like Qatar.
Qatar. Okay.
But
I'm not going to be able to pull that off,
No,
though.
I think they're like, Americans are not going to be able to do that, so we're just going to say Qatar.
Yeah, they probably don't even care how we say it, frankly. But the World Cup in Qatar has begun. Team USA just drew their first match against Wales. Jared and I literally just finished watching it, and it was pretty much the quintessential United States men's national team World Cup experience. Wouldn't you say? Like, It was...
You got your hopes up, right? Pretty quickly, fairly quickly.
It was exciting. We scored a beautiful goal on a header.
It was not a header.
Wasn't a header?
Nope.
How did we score?
He did a through ball on the ground, and the guy one time tapped
tapped
it between the goalie's arm and outstretched leg.
Yeah, for some reason I'm mixing that up with the Ecuadorian goal that happened against Qatar. But we came out in the second half, and immediately it looked like we were going to choke away that one goal lead, and we inevitably did, and ended up tying the game, which was exactly what I expected. Literally, before the game, I tweeted, I'm going to bet USA moneyline, knowing full well we're probably going to draw, but betting on the draw is un-American, so here we are. And yeah, man, it was, look, like I said when the match ended, it was entertaining, if nothing else, but it's just like, we're not allowed to have nice things, soccer-wise, as a country. It just doesn't happen for us. It's always stress, followed by hope, followed by disappointment. Every single time. And it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this plays out. So who's in our group? We've got, for those of you who are unaware of the World Cup and how it works, there's 4 teams in each grouping, and 2 teams advance out of that group. And it's a point system, right? Point-based system. And then your amount of goals scored comes into play.
Yeah, I think head-to-head is the first tiebreaker.
And then goals.
And then goal differential, I believe.
And it's us, England, Iran, and Wales in our group.
Yes.
So we had to at least come out of this first match with a draw, which we did. But God, it feels stupid to have come out with a draw because we outplayed them so well in the first half and then just shit the bed in the second.
Yeah, what they score, like the 81st minute or something? Something sad like
in
that.
In the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not great, but, we looked passable. I could definitely see us, all we have to do, us and Wales have the exact same schedule.
Right.
Right? So we just have to beat Wales now in the other 2 games.
Well, we have to beat... Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So you're saying not beat Wales in playing them, but we have to come away with more points than them.
Yes, because England's obviously going to advance. They just destroyed Iran like 7-2.
Yeah.
Iran's definitely not going to advance because they just got destroyed 2-7.
They stink.
So it's just us versus whoever does better against Iran and England between us and Wales.
Not great, but...
kind of seems like... the whole England-Wales thing, a bit of a conflict of interest to put 2 United Kingdom countries in one group, right?
Too closely related.
But I also think they hate each other even more. Like, the Welsh definitely hate the English, like, the most.
I kind of assumed that.
Yeah.
But I have no real evidence
like
to back
Braveheart,
it up.
That was Scotland? Was that Scotland? I haven't seen it.
That's Scotland.
Never seen it.
Yeah, William Wallace is what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the big timers you've never seen, Braveheart.
And Patriot Day.
You know what? My wife had never seen Braveheart. I made her watch it with me several weeks ago. And I had to insist that it was a love story, which it is. It is a love story.
A man in his country?
Yeah, but the first 45 minutes are a man and a woman. And then I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen Braveheart, but things don't go well. So it becomes about a man in his country. Anyway, the point is the World Cup.
Like she dies.
She does die. She's brutally murdered. But the World Cup is in Qatar, and obviously that's come with a lot of controversy. How do the English say it?
Controversy.
A little bit of controversy.
Well, you were saying you don't think they deserve all the flack, right?
That's not what I said, Jared. But yeah, I'm a staunch defender of Qatari human rights activism. No, so there've been a lot of questions about what it's going to be like over there. Obviously, a lot of you, if you're paying attention, you've seen video or at least photos of the visitor village that they created, which is essentially a massive line of storage containers that they've turned into like hotel rooms you pay $250 a night for, and there's not even an air conditioner in there. You just have a fan, and it's reaching like 90 degrees in Qatar currently each day. So that's not ideal. But more importantly, they banned at the last minute. They were like, never mind, no alcohol is allowed inside of the stadiums. No alcohol sales allowed. And they've kind of flip-flopped on this a few times apparently. But right before the thing started, they said no, unless you're in one of the boxes. The rich people can still buy alcohol.
This is one of the things, like one of the reasons FIFA is corrupt, like besides all the other evidence.
Yeah.
They gave it to a country. I've never been to a World Cup. From what I understand, it is all drinking all day, every day, the entire time.
Yeah,
for a month.
And the drunker the fans are, the more rambunctious the crowd is, the more fun the viewing spectacle is for everyone back home watching on TV. And now we're sort of dealing with a weird version of it that I don't think they've ever had. But to my knowledge, the World Cup has always involved alcohol sales to everyone, not just the rich people in the boxes. But there was a tweet on Twitter where that was from some bogus account that said some supporters have obviously found the technique to drink alcohol in stadiums in Qatar, and it was a photo of a dude who had one of those fake Coca-Cola sleeves over his New England IPA. And just from the rip, right when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is probably not real. But I quote tweeted it and said, I'm not trying to get Brittany Grinered over a New England IPA. And it's like the first like semi-viral tweet I've had in maybe years. So now I'm back on board with Elon Musk and his ownership of Twitter.
Your last viral tweet I can remember was about Deshaun Watson, and then he blocked you.
Yeah, he got really upset about that. I said it was either the most ruthless character assassination in the history of sports, or he was a legitimate sexual predator. And it was obviously the latter. And he blocked the shit out of me because he is indeed a dickhead of a sexual predator.
I believe he is appearing in the NFL soon for the Cleveland Browns.
Guess who they're playing their first game?
There's no way.
Oh, Jared.
How can they allow that?
No idea. No idea. The Texans. They're playing the Texans.
That's what I cannot believe this.
Completely insane.
They surely, when they looked at the ban, they take one off or add one on and just go, okay, we're not going to have his first game back be against the Texans.
I think it's because they were like, the viewership numbers will be nutty.
That has to be it.
And the thing is, the Texans are so bad that no one in Houston actually gives a shit, which is kind of another advantage for the NFL. Like, we don't care.
No, that game.
I will watch that game.
No, that game will get more viewers than probably all the other games combined.
Probably.
I'm going to watch that game. I would never watch a Texans game.
Yeah, I want to see if somebody tries to take his head off because he legitimately destroyed our entire franchise by being a sexual predator. So it's a bummer. But Brittany Griner, by the way.
Is she free?
Nope. She just got transferred to a Russian gulag to start serving her like 18-year work sentence. Not joking.
I hope she gets to redeploy.
They're not even called... They're not even called... Have you played Warzone 2 yet?
Yeah.
Is it fun?
It's okay. On a computer. I play on PC. Unless you do a certain fix, you crash every 10 minutes.
Okay, well, I'm going to need to know that after the show ends so that I can do that myself. Because I've watched some. I watched like Tim the Tatman and Ninja and the boys.
The proximity chat makes the game entirely different. In a fun but also kind of annoying way.
It's fun but destructive to the gameplay.
Yeah, because here's the thing. During COVID, I played... for like socializing and like you talk about your life and you talk about like personal information and then you're talking to your friend and you just hear, I'm gonna get you, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Some guy just heard me talk about my dog.
Yeah. Fuck your dog, guy. Yeah, it's really, really weird. And you don't even have to be that close to the people for that to be a thing. Like, you can be in the same building and essentially hear each other talking, which is very entertaining if you're just watching people on Twitch. It's really annoying if you're trying to play and taking it seriously.
Because also, you can be like, oh, let's go loot this house. And they're like, I'm in here, bitch.
Yeah. And everyone calls each other bitch the entire time.
COD, just Call of Duty in general is the last bastion of mainstream zero rules for what you can say.
Yeah, the most pure version of gaming toxicity that still exists.
It's unbelievable that it still does exist, but it's not at the same time.
No, it's the internet, and you expect it. It's just that most games have either their fan bases have matured enough for it to no longer be that big of an issue, but it's something about Call of Duty, man. Like, it's just part of it. You have to be as angry and as much of a dick as you possibly can the entire time you're playing. You call everybody a bitch and curse and treat everyone like shit, even your own teammates.
Yeah.
And that's part of the fun.
You cannot play Call of Duty for more than 15 minutes and not get called a racial slur.
But I don't think Brittany Griner is going to hit that redeploy. She really did get transferred to a Russian gulag, which they don't call gulags anymore. They call them work camps. And
honestly, gulag, I think Warzone made gulag more acceptable.
I do too. I think they should have stuck with it. But for 3 weeks, her lawyers couldn't even figure out where she was, which isn't great. It's not a good situation. And it's a really fucked up story all in all, because any other professional athlete, like if it was like, imagine if it was like Tom Brady, like it would be the #1 story on ESPN every fucking day until he got out. And it's just like swept under the rug because it's a WNBA player. Even if she's one of the great WNBA players, people just don't seem to care. It's sick.
Is the like women's basketball version of the World Cup? Because we're going to need her for that.
I don't even know. That's the sad part. I really don't even know. But yeah, good luck to her.
It's probably corrupt like FIFA, and it's going to be hosted in Russia.
Hopefully she can hit a redeploy. Yeah. Did you see that Saudi Arabia is one of the finalists for the next World Cup? Like, they can just double down on this and keep going. FIFA. It's pretty wild stuff. But all in all, I am enjoying the World Cup so far. I watched the opening game, which was Qatar versus Ecuador. And somehow Qatar was favored, I think largely because there was a rumor that they had bribed the Ecuadorian team to throw the game. And so I was like, I'm going to bet on the soccer country. This is a no-brainer. And I won on MyBookie, which is coincidentally today's first sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by MyBookie, our online sportsbook and casino here at the Ross Bolen Podcast. If you're looking for a place to get all the action you can handle this NFL season, or bet on the NBA, college football, golf, MMA, boxing, or whatever, all your sports betting needs are taken care of at MyBookie.ag. They've got all the prop bets, live lines, alternate lines, and futures that you could possibly need, plus the online casino with live roulette, blackjack, and more. And for a limited time, you join the MyBookie family using the code ROSS at checkout to support the show, and you will receive a deposit bonus, instantly giving you even more dough to throw at your favorite sporting event, whether it be the World Cup or college football or whatever. But the website's awesome on desktop and mobile. It's incredibly easy to use, beautifully laid out. What are you waiting for? Use promo code ROSS, ROSS, on sign up to claim your deposit bonus at mybookie.ag today. Lock in for the rest of the NFL season and throw down on the World Cup with me. I've obviously bet on Team USA to win today, which did not play out. But before that, I was 2-0. Because I bet Ecuador, and then I bet the second half of the Netherlands game. I took the Netherlands to beat Senegal and won. So, mybookie.ag, code Ross when you sign up. Enjoy the rest of the World Cup. It's been a blast so far, always is, just slightly disappointing as an American fan. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. A listener sent us a clip of another podcast that was like two dudes, just like you and me, Jared. What a coincidence.
Was it two white guys?
Yeah. Well, no, maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to sit there and pretend I know what race they both were. One of them was whitish appearing, white presenting. And two dudes attempting to play. It was a word association game, and they failed miserably. And our listener wanted you and I to try to do the same thing. So Jared and I have both come up with a list of words that we are going to throw at each other. I will go first. I will say a word. Mine are all Thanksgiving related, by the way, to keep this on point. And Jared will respond with the first thing that comes to mind, and then we'll reverse it, and he'll do his words, and I'll say the first thing that comes to my mind.
Are we doing all of your 10 first?
Yeah, I'm going to do
that makes
all
sense.
Mine in a row.
Because I was thinking about it, and I was like looking at mine, and I was like, oh shit, I'm just going to say my words when he says his words.
Yeah.
That's going to be the first word that comes to mind.
And then the whole thing will get destroyed. No, so I'll do all of mine. Okay. You'll just respond with the first thing that comes to mind. And let's say you don't even have to limit it to one word. It could be a 2-word response if you had to, right? But I've got 10 here, and I'm going to throw them at you. Jared, are you ready?
Yep.
All right, word association, okay? Corn.
Whole.
Breast.
Milk.
Cooking.
Shoes.
Shoes. Have you ever cooked a shoe before, Jared? That doesn't sound like it would be an enjoyable meal.
Maybe I have a set of cooking shoes I wear when I cook. Good arch support for the kitchen. I don't.
I can't argue with that.
Maybe I do.
Corn.
Well, you already said that shit.
Why is corn on here twice? In the first 5 words, I included corn twice.
You're like, okay, I got to think of 5 random words, and you can't. 2 of them are corn.
Maybe I thought the second time you would throw something different. Dude, what was yours? Cornhole?
Yeah, the game.
I mean, you could have said on the cob for the second one.
All
right, next word. Corn. No, okay, seriously though. All right, you ready? All right, compose yourself. All right, next word. Sauce.
Pan.
Fall.
Guys.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I love that game.
It's so fun.
Dessert. Now you're like the guys in the clip. You can't even come up with a single word.
I don't know how good the mic picked it up. I was gonna say shoes again.
Shoes. Why? Dessert shoes. Is it because I have shoes on my desk and that's the only thing that you can think of?
You do have shoes on your desk. Yeah. I didn't notice them until right now.
Dude, it's kind of hard. You do have to. I think you have to close your eyes because otherwise you pick something you can see.
Well, another thing is I just bought a pair of shoes.
What'd you get?
Some Ultra Boosts. The ones that look like dad shoes though. I forget the name of them.
I don't even know if I've.
Yeah, there's a special Ultra Boost.
Okay.
That looks kind of like a New Balance.
Okay. Ultra Boosts are incredibly comfortable.
And it's the first pair of shoes I've bought in over a year, and I haven't opened them yet. I haven't unboxed them, so I think they're like on my brain.
Fresh on your mind.
Yeah, so I'll close my eyes for the rest of these.
All right, let's try. I'll come back to dessert, Jared. Stuffing.
My face.
Candy.
Floss.
Pilgrim.
Mayflower.
Dessert.
Guys.
That one you just can't get. You just cannot hit the dessert button, man.
I don't know why. Think of how many desserts there are. That's like one of the biggest genres of anything.
I think the second corn was supposed to be candy.
Oh, okay. Corn.
I like that. Good stuff, Jared. You did pretty well. I mean, you did a hell of a lot better than those two jackasses.
Yeah. I got a lot of them. Candy floss is an interesting one. What is candy? That's cotton candy. Isn't that what the Brits call cotton candy?
Well, I mean, it made sense to me from like the perspective of I went to the dentist last week and she was like, "Not flossing, huh?" And I was like, "No, I totally am flossing." And she was like, "You're fucking lying. Here's some floss. Take this home and use it." I was like, "I have a water pick." And she was like, "Yeah, that's okay, but it doesn't do what the floss does."
Here's the weird thing about the floss one. So like most people, you hear floss, you think like dental care. I did the opposite. I did eating cotton candy, which is the worst thing you can do for your teeth.
If you said flossing to me, my response would be that ass. Because I think of like doing the towel.
Oh, like Meg and Family Guy?
Is that what Meg and Family? Oh, yeah.
There's a scene.
Oh, yeah. I remember that scene.
It's not a good scene.
It's a disturbing one. All right, I'm ready for mine.
10 words.
Let's do it.
Are you going to close your eyes? Or are you going to keep them open?
I'm going to try with my eyes open first.
Should I look at you? Or that throw you off?
You don't have to look at me.
Okay, ready?
If you don't want to.
Artichoke.
Camera.
There's a camera. Close your eyes.
Fuck, okay.
You looked at the fucking camera.
Okay. Do your next one.
Manuscript.
Movie.
I guess I can see that. Shiplap.
What?
You don't know what shiplap is?
What does that even mean?
Dude, this dude does not watch Fixer Upper with Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Shit. No, seriously, what does it mean?
Shiplap is when you have a wall in your house and you cover it in like white painted pieces of wood that from like a barn.
Okay. How the fuck was I supposed to know that?
I thought you have like a house. I thought you guys were like maybe renovating. I don't know.
Renovating would have been a good response to that.
Yeah. Well, you didn't know what it was, so I don't know how you would have done that.
Are all of yours going to be SAT words? Moving forward?
No,
all right, do another one.
Well, I hope not. Broom.
Stick.
Okay. Astronaut.
Moon.
That's. I don't even think that's a good response.
It doesn't have to be a connection to it, like astronaut helmet. It can be like it's just whatever it makes you think of.
Okay. Just so we do note, I didn't know how to do this game. I remember my idea of a word association was completely different from yours.
Yeah, you thought we were going to go back and forth until it turned into a fucking story or something.
That's a game. I've played that in car rides. Okay,
we
here
can
we go.
try that after this.
Casserole.
Salad. So bad.
A salad might be the polar opposite of a casserole. It's uncooked. It's healthy.
What kind of casseroles are there?
Sweet potato casserole, which got to take on that. Tuna casserole.
Okay.
You ever have that growing up?
I could have said that too.
You strike me as a guy who likes tuna way too much.
Fuck, I thought I'd be so much better at this. I consider myself to be like a wordsmith, and this is pathetic.
I'm probably distracting you. I'm going to do the last 4 and like
in succession.
No, but like I'm not gonna give commentary unless your answer sucks.
Yeah, no pausing. All right.
Turnstile.
I don't know what that means. What is Do you even know what it means?
You don't know what a turnstile is?
Jared, say it in the next 10 seconds or I'm going to assume you don't.
A turnstile is when you are walking through like into a subway gate and you like scan your card and you have to walk through. It's a turnstile.
Why are these all like interior design related? It's also an indie rock band from Perth in Western Australia. Next. You said you weren't going to pause.
Bog.
Me down.
Waterproof.
Vest.
What? What the fuck? Hey,
it's a waterproof hunting vest.
Hey, I can't get my torso wet. My arms, legs, head, fine. My torso cannot get wet.
Specifically the nipples. You don't want them chafing when you're hunting for turkey.
Waterproof vest.
That's my best one yet.
Last one. Worldwide.
Pandemic.
Okay, wow. That was
my best one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say Pitbull.
Holy shit. Okay, now I have a lot more respect for those two jackasses in that clip because I thought at first when I watched it, these are the two stupidest men in the world.
Okay, Ross, I'll say right now, you turn the cameras off and the mics off.
I think we could crush this?
I think we do a lot better. I think part of you in your head goes like, part of you in your head goes like, I can't say something that's bad because I'm being recorded.
No, I don't worry about that. I say bad things into the microphone constantly. It's like not a problem for me. I think it's like the pressure of having to come up with a word on the spot.
And also
is
like
way
the back
harder
of your mind
when you're on the microphone.
In the back of your mind, you're like, I kind of want to say something funny because we're on the podcast.
Got to come up with a joke to make the word association good. God, I stink at this though. Yeah. Wow. Impressive. Well, wait. What was your take on, what'd you say you had a take on something?
Sweet potato casserole?
Yeah, which, first of all, let's just be clear. What exactly is that?
Okay. Sweet potato casserole.
I'm going to Google it, too.
Now, I'm going to use the standard definition of this. It is one of the most popular side dishes for a Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay, yeah.
It is generally sweet potatoes, all like cooked down and whipped up into like a kind of like a sweet potato paste, like a mashed potato version of sweet potatoes.
Right. And this is kind of the version I'm used to seeing here.
The most popular topping is marshmallows, brown sugar. Those are kind of the general thing.
Makes it real sweet.
Yeah. Growing up, we would do half brown sugar on top, half marshmallows on top. My mom puts pineapples in it too. Now, the thing about
pineapples.
It's delicious. Sweet potato casserole is undeniably very good. Here's the thing. It's got fucking marshmallows on it. It's not a side dish. It's a dessert. You cannot have your Thanksgiving plate with your turkey, your stuffing, your mashed potatoes, and put some fucking marshmallows on it.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't really get why. I have to stand with you here. I don't really get why it's considered a side dish.
It's got marshmallows. So like cranberry sauce, yeah, it's sweet. It's very sugary, but like it goes with the turkey. There's like a fruit and meat combination, which is a very normal food thing.
Yeah, this is like if you put apple pie and tried to say that was a side, it's not.
Ross,
it's a dessert.
What happens if the gravy gets onto the marshmallow? Like, think about that. Oh yeah, what if I told you right now, hey, every Thanksgiving my favorite thing to eat is marshmallows covered in gravy?
Okay, now that I'm thinking about it though, it's like maybe its ability to be touched by the other foods and largely unaffected, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, if there was a little gravy on here, I'd definitely try it.
You try the gravy on the marshmallow?
Yeah. But you couldn't really do that with like apple pie. That'd be disgusting.
People eat apple pie with cheddar cheese.
What? Dude, there are so many weird food traditions that like I'm completely unaware of. My wife like routinely drops one on me. Her and her people are very Cajun, and they have all these crazy ass Cajun traditions that like I just don't even understand. One of them is that when they make red beans and rice and cornbread, they put the cornbread in the bowl and they pour the red beans and rice all over so the cornbread is in there. And I've never had that served to me like that. It turns out it's incredible. It's very delicious, but it's like it's not something I was familiar with.
Another one, I think it's in Nebraska. They do. Dan Regester told me about this. They do chili, and you eat it with a cinnamon roll.
See, that's fucking weird. man. That's really weird. Those things don't sound like they would go together at all.
No, and I'm like, I can totally see how cheddar cheese and apple pie would go together because, like, if I get a charcuterie board, I'll eat cheese and apples. That's fine. I'd do that. There's no situation in which I'm getting a cinnamon roll and dipping it in a vat of chili.
Yeah, but a charcuterie board is like that's a totally different animal. I do not. If somebody offered to put cheese of any kind, much less cheddar, on my apple pie, I think I would fight them.
No,
like
well,
ice cream goes on my apple pie, man.
I mean, ice cream and cheese are related.
They're both dairy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but cheese has a very, it tastes, it's a cheesy flavor to it.
Can you describe that differently?
It's like a cheese. It's like
describe the taste of cheese.
It's like.
Can you?
it's like sharp. Like nope. No, I can't.
It's like kind of creamy. It's smooth. It just sounds like I'm just sucking on you.
It's just like a sexual thing now. Yeah, I don't know. We're struggling with the English language today.
Yeah,
which happens, but
yeah,
my brain hurts.
I like sweet potato casserole. I think it's delicious. Try it with pineapples in it, like my mom does it. But eat it for dessert.
Here's the thing. I think if you and I did a word association that was purely sexual, like we could only pick sex words, we would fucking crush it. So maybe we should try that after Thanksgiving. But it just didn't seem like we should be getting disgusting on the Thanksgiving special.
Did not help that you didn't know two of my words.
Well, yeah, because it didn't help that you used two incredibly complicated turnstile. What the fuck, Jared?
Okay,
What the fuck?
Let me know in the comments below.
My most complicated one was like pilgrim. You came with SAT words, man.
I just want to know.
I didn't do that good on the SAT.
The turn. You clearly never lived somewhere that had like a subway system or.
Yeah, I clearly have not. I've been in Texas my whole life. I don't even know if we believe in mass transportation here.
Definitely,
it's like against the law.
It is. The people don't understand that about Texas. Like
it really is weird.
It's the worst mass transit in the country.
Bro, at one point in Houston, they tried to build a train. They were like, "We're gonna do it. We're gonna build a train, and it's gonna change the city. It's gonna go from downtown to like around the city." And then they built it, like the beginning of it. And like 6 people died the first month because it went through downtown, and people didn't understand that you had to stop at certain points and were getting hit by the train. Like cars. Seriously, it was a fucking disaster. It's still there, but they've put up more safety measures or whatever. But in Austin and Houston, the two cities I've lived,
we have a train here. It's hilarious because there's one train line and it goes in the weirdest shape.
Barrett used to live right next to the station.
It goes from north central Austin to downtown Austin.
It's like an Amtrak, right?
There's the Amtrak's different. That goes on the actual like legitimate train tracks. These are like specifically built for the metro system.
Where does it go though?
It goes from North Lamar like all the way up by like 183 down to downtown. It ends downtown. The end of the line is like near 6th Street.
End of the line.
What do they say? All aboard. What's the other thing?
Aboard.
What do they say with the tickets? Show me your tickets.
I don't know what they say with the tickets.
Show me your tickets.
You ever ridden on a train?
Yeah, I took a train from Orlando to Washington, D.C.
No shit.
Uh-huh.
How was that?
It's called.
How many hours, first of all?
It's an overnight train. So it's an auto train. So it's all like passenger areas in the front, and then the back half of the train, you drive your car into it. So when you get off in D.C. with your car.
No shit.
Yeah, the auto train.
That's kind of cool. Wait, haven't you been to Europe?
Yeah.
You didn't do a train in Europe? I feel like a lot of people who go across the pond, that's how they travel around. They do the train from country to country or whatever, which is like one of the cool things about Europe that, again, doesn't fucking exist. Like we don't have, at least where I'm, down here in Texas, there's nothing like that. There's just no.
Great question.
What, whether or not you were ever on one?
In Europe.
You don't remember. Was this because you were on the alcohol the whole time?
No, I was 15.
So it was crack.
And that wasn't not even legal in.
Oh yeah, you got to be what? 16?
I don't know. It all changes. In Canada, you can be 18 in a couple places.
How old do you have to be now here? Is it still 21?
Yeah, it's 21 for cigarettes too now.
Yeah, they bumped that shit up. I still can't believe it. The fact that cigarettes are legal on any level is insane to me. It just is. And I'm sorry if you're a smoker.
What about vaping?
It's even worse. It's somehow worse.
No, we know very well what cigarettes do to you. Like,
yeah, we've known for a really long time.
Yeah, but we don't know what vaping does.
No.
We have no idea.
That's the scary part. All we know is the popcorn lung.
Yeah. And I
will
say right now,
popcorn, I would have said lung.
Do I regret proliferating caffeinated vapes with caffeine in them? Yeah. I don't know what that. Now that I look back on
it was a weird sponsorship.
It was weird, and I truly don't know what I was smoking.
For those
All I
of
know
you who
is
are,
they said I was smoking caffeine.
For those of you who are unaware, I believe it was on Freeze All Motor Functions, our Westworld podcast, or maybe it was Grand X Gaming, our gaming podcast.
I made a bit that we did on Westworld. But at one point, this company called like Eagle Eye came into the office. They're like, "We got the next big thing. Nobody's gonna drink coffee. It has too many calories and it's too expensive.
And you got to go like get a cup and it's a huge,
Try this." And it's just like a little like pen, like you get at a head shop.
Like a vape pen, but
guess what? It's caffeine. I'm like, I'm smoking caffeine.
Right.
And they're like, "Yeah, dude, it's going to change the world."
Yeah, now, more than anything, it became a bit.
I've never heard anybody smoking caffeine since. I don't know what.
Probably got outlawed immediately.
Here's what I don't get. Is caffeine flammable? What? I'm clearly smoking like some sort of like ethylene glycol that has caffeine in it that burns. But I'm smoking whatever. What am I smoking?
Yeah.
The caffeine can be in there, but what?
It's good that it was short-lived.
It was.
Because I feel like if you were still doing this, I'd be pretty concerned for your overall health.
There's a video of me doing like one in each nostril and one in my mouth.
Yeah. You probably moved some units with that video, though.
How much caffeine? How many cups of coffee was that one hit for that video?
Nobody knows, but I'll tell you this. We have only healthy sponsors here now.
Good.
Here's one. Today's episode is brought to you by Felix Gray Glasses. 5 years ago, Felix Gray set out to create eyewear that would improve daily screen time, and since then, they've been on a mission to create a better relationship with technology, filtering 15 times more blue light that can make screen time tough on eyes and disruptive to sleep. Jared and I have been working on the internet for a very long time, and we've been staring at screens for too many years. I do like 10 hours a day staring at screens. My eyes get worn out. When I'm done with work, I like to watch TV or movies and game, all of which involve more screens, more intense, larger screens. So when I got introduced to Felix Gray, everything changed. These glasses are the quality of designer frames. It's not some cheap blue light coating painted over them that's going to chip off. That never happens. No chipping, no cheapness. Just incredible quality designer frames that are stylish and functional as they protect your eyes from all the blue light that the screens we rely upon emit. There is no cutting back on screen time if you're like me, but you can do your eyes a solid. Get yourself some Felix Grays to get relief from those headaches, dry eyes, blurry vision, and what have you that occurs over the course of your workday. I've got like 6 pairs. My frames that I would recommend for you to check out are the Faraday, the Nash, and the West. Just go to felixgrayglasses.com/RBP to support the show, and you will get free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges.
I'm
like
a Kepler guy.
It's a risk-free if you ask me.
That is risk-free. I like the Kepler frame.
Kepler. They've got non-prescription and prescription available. Check them out now. felixgrayglasses.com/RBP. That's FELIXGRAY glasses.com/RBP for free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges. I've got an insane headline of the day for you, and it is among the best of all time.
Okay, that's you
I'm hyping it because it's worthy.
Too much.
It's worthy of the hype. Are you ready?
Let's hear it.
Woman stopped at airport while wearing butt plug containing boyfriend's ashes.
I'm pretty sure I've seen like a TikTok of this.
Yep. You ready for the story?
But like I think I've seen the TikTok of her getting like, okay, am I?
Yep. Yes,
God,
you have,
I'm on
sir.
TikTok
You're
too much.
too deep into the TikTok hole. My God, Jared. But it's worked out for you.
Sounds like she's too deep into the butthole.
At Formula Bone on TikTok, almost 200,000 followers, which is why he's aware of this. So from Metro, a woman was stopped by airport security because she was carrying her boyfriend's ashes in a sex toy that was, quote, his favorite place. I don't even know what to make of that. Sarah Button, 23, has gone viral on TikTok for wearing a metal butt plug with Forever engraved on it through an airport in Australia. While going through customs, the law student wore the toy as a way of traveling with her late partner, as she hoped to show him the world. In her ass. Button, I added ass in her ass. Button from Australia was bought the toy as a gag gift by her boyfriend, which raised a fair few eyebrows from airport staff. Sarah told Need to Know Online, "We were initially concerned about getting it through in my carry-on, so I just left it within her ass in hopes of avoiding explanations." She said it was a bit nerve-wracking, but I had previously gone through security with a normal plug-in without incident. So I had a sense of calm and faith that we'd make it through.
Faith? Why would you throw that word in there?
I would pack him in the checked luggage if I were to take the urn overseas with me. I didn't make the sensor beep or anything, and the friend I was with was aware as well. The plug was gifted to me before the passing of an ex-boyfriend I had as a teenager. The intention was initially a joke because he'd spent so much time in there, and it was his favorite place. Again, she is talking about her ass. her asshole is what she's that was his favorite place, and she wants everyone to know it, and he spent so much time in there that it made sense to her as an homage to his life.
Why did he buy her that as a gag gift? Did he know he was gonna die, and he's like, hey, I'm not gonna make it, but here's this.
I don't know.
That's the part.
Terminal.
That's the part I don't get. Like, why? How do you buy that for somebody? Like, whatever. Go on.
It says she wrote in the TikTok video uploaded September 9th, seeing if the plug emoji I wear carrying his ashes will get through airport security.
That specific caption is what I remember seeing.
Adding, he's still here. It's romantic, she captioned the video, seen by more than 5 million people. So this is like a bad thing to be known for. Let me finish the story and then we can discuss. Sarah didn't have too much luck when she visited Abu Dhabi Airport in the United Arab Emirates in 2019, only to end up banned from the Gulf. So she got banned as a result.
From the Gulf? From the entire
the whole fucking
Persian Gulf?
She says, I explained what it was, but there was a lady worker in earshot of that conversation, which led to some back and forth between us, and the male officials did not like the vulgarity I was using to explain. They took me and my friend aside without much explanation, and it says Sarah claimed her passport and mobile phone were taken away, forcing her to call her dad to ring the Australian embassy in Abu Dhabi for help. We have a big history of catering to our Australian listeners here on RBP, and we appreciate you all very much, even those of you who rip tobacco bongs. An hour later, a big official came and had us sign a super long foreign document and said if we went outside of the airport doors, we'd go to jail. It was a long day, she said. To continue her quote, moral of the story is I was very ignorant of what I had in my bag and the words I used, their values, and I didn't realize explaining a plug would violate the person that asked about it. The intention was initially a joke because he'd spent so much time in there and it was his favorite place. I don't know why she's repeated that 3 times. She has since traveled to, quote, places she and her boyfriend only ever dreamed of going, such as the Great Barrier Reef, and are set to see the British rock band Bring Me the Horizon in December. Her followers were taken aback by the TikTok video, to say the least, with one commenting, I have some adjustments to make on my will. Another added, whoever's ashes is being remembered in a most magnificent way by you. A third user said, and they say romance is dead. Just to be upfront about it, if I die, I do want you, Jared, to take my ashes and put them in a metal butt plug that says forever and jam that right up your ass, because that is one of my, it's not my favorite place, but it's one of my favorite things to spank, certainly right behind my own meat. And I want you to travel, maybe not the world, but to at least one like Buc-ee's, rest stop.
Well,
with me in your ass.
Can we at least learn something from this story and have it be like a silicone butt plug?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
Well, the metal
does sound.
That seems like why she got. Well, actually, I don't know. When you go through that scanner in the airport, would that pick up the butt plug?
The one where you hold up your hands and and it would just show me in there,
not even the shape of the butt plug. It just shows your face.
Look, what's important to me is that when it happens and you do inevitably get caught in an airport, that you explain to everyone that I loved spanking your tight little ass and that's why you put me in there.
It's his favorite place.
One of his favorite things to spank. This is where we're at, the humans.
Well, she really went in on this. She is getting all the publicity possible.
Yeah, but everybody knows she's an anal queen. She's real upfront about it. He was in there all the time.
How much?
I don't know, but it sounds like too much. There is a too much, right? With all the kinds of sex. Yeah. And it just seems like she was describing he just spent too much time in there. Clearly. Yeah. How do you feel about all this?
I feel weird that this random TikTok I saw while I was pooping a month ago just got brought up.
Something we're talking about?
Yeah. I don't know if I like TikToks becoming news stories.
I don't either.
But
the world is changing too rapidly for me to keep up.
Also, because I think she did this trying to get famous and it worked. Which there's a lesson to be learned there, but there's also not.
5 million people plus our listenership now know that she traveled with her boyfriend's ashes up her ass as a way to pay respects. It just doesn't make sense. It's not what I want. I'm certain of that.
Okay.
So you don't actually do that.
Okay.
Just for the legal record, I feel like I should clarify. I do not want to be in your ass after I pass.
What about
before?
What about while?
Today's episode is also brought to you by Talkspace. If that segment scarred you, therapy may be what you need. And when it comes to therapy and psychiatry, getting the help you need has never been so simple. When you're able to access your provider from the comfort of your device, it means mental health can be on your schedule, and alleviating the time that it would take to get an appointment or the travel time to an office can free up time for the rest of your life. Talkspace is so convenient and accessible. It helps me feel supported around the clock. It lets you send messages to your dedicated therapist in the Talkspace platform, which allows you to update them on the challenges and triumphs you're facing in real time, so you don't have to wait for your next session. With Talkspace, you set goals with your therapist. They can hold you accountable to make sure you're really progressing. Therapy can help shift your perspective, find tools to cope in difficult times, and be a guiding light. I've been in therapy for over a decade now. Cannot more highly recommend it. I still regularly have a breakthrough that makes my life easier, less stressful, less painful. And when I come up, against challenges, I really do love working through them with my therapist. But I understand therapy can be daunting if you've never done it before. Getting started is way less daunting with Talkspace. They make connecting with a therapist easy so you can stop setting aside your own mental well-being. I wholeheartedly recommend Talkspace for therapy. You can sign up online, get a personalized match with a provider that's right for you, typically within 48 hours. You can text, video, or send voice messages to your licensed therapist, so it's incredibly convenient to have a virtual session from the comfort of your home. And as a listener of RBP, you'll get $100 off your first month with Talkspace. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com. Make sure you use the code RBP to get $100 off your first month and show your support for this show while you support yourself. That's RBP and Talkspace.com. Jared, did you see the first Avatar, the movie Avatar?
Yeah.
Did you see it in theaters?
I did, yeah.
With the 3D glasses, I'm guessing?
Yeah,
First of all,
real D 3D.
Absolutely idiotic trend that took over the movie theaters for a while there. That was so fucking stupid.
There's no way anything that won like a actual like award.
I don't think
it's a gimmick,
yeah.
Right?
It felt like a couple years though, where like most of the movie, and when you went to buy a movie ticket, you had to pick, like, do I want to see it at the normal theater or the 3D theater? And then you'd go in and your glasses would be sitting there and you'd put them on. And I just always felt like a jackass. And you remember the part in the, when it would come up on the screen, like, put on your glasses now. I feel like I saw WALL-E in 3D. But yeah, it was stupid.
I know Avatar until the like Avengers things was the most watched or highest grossing, right?
I think it's still the highest grossing.
No, I'm pretty sure Endgame and Infinity War absolutely clapped it.
Let me see. Nope. Avatar is still at the top. Avengers Endgame is right below it, and Titanic is in third. Avatar made $2,922,917,914.
What, 14?
Well, this being said, that's lifetime gross.
Okay, so it's had
10
years on
Avengers Endgame is only 140 million behind it.
So it's gonna pass.
It's gonna pass it inevitably, but it was still an insane amount of money, especially when you consider this. So I was on Twitter and I saw a quote, because James Cameron is out doing a bunch of promo right now. December 16th, Avatar 2 is going to drop, which looks absurd from what the trailer, the teaser thing I've seen so far. But unbelievable quote from creator-director James Cameron here that he dropped in GQ magazine. He said, the tweet said, James Cameron says the ideas for Avatar originally came to him in a dream. And here's his quote: I have my own private streaming service that's better than any of that shit out there, and it runs every night for free. Which, look, I get it. He's got a big head. James Cameron, he made Titanic also, which is the number 3 on that highest grossing films list. The guy is clearly aware of what he's doing. He knows what he's doing as a movie maker.
Well, do you know the stories about him in the Marianas Trench, right?
No.
Really?
No.
James Cameron.
You going to tell me?
James Cameron. Again, this is, I heard this from a really, really, really unreliable source.
Was it Dan again?
Yes.
Wow.
Here's what Dan said. He said James Cameron.
I feel like you need better sources moving forward.
Well, no, but it's funny. It's funny. It's a good funny
Dan's
source.
like our former employee who is one of the more like ridiculous humans ever. He just says things sometimes.
Yeah, and you don't know if it's true or not, but that makes it, as long as I disclaim that, then it's fine. He said James Cameron owns a single-man submersible that he uses to go alone into Marianas Trench to just explore the depths of the ocean.
That is true. That is in fact true, and he set a record for the solo sub dive, the deepest ever solo sub dive.
Why is James Cameron doing this? What's he doing down there? That's what Dan asks. Dan wants to know what he's doing down there. He's doing something.
Who the fuck?
He's jerking off down there for sure.
He's definitely cranking in that solo sub.
You could honestly, like, that's the most alone place
that you could crank.
Earth. When he cranks down there, he's the most alone human being in the entire world, and maybe of all time. That's crazy.
It's almost too lonely of an idea. Like,
he could do anything down there.
Masturbating at the depths of the ocean in your solo sub. Yeah. That's like kind of the most depressing thing I've ever heard in my life. But the point is, this guy is giving himself entirely too much credit, because if you saw the original Avatar and you saw, say, Pocahontas and Fern Gully, he literally just combined. There wasn't a whole lot of originality in Avatar. He literally named the material unobtainium, which is unobtainable. Unobtainium. That's the level of creativity this man is operating with. And I'm not saying he's not a brilliant filmmaker, but his 2 movies there that we've just mentioned, Avatar, not that original, and fucking Titanic actually happened. He didn't have to like come up with a whole lot. It's just the epitome of like the Hollywood ego thing that is just, for his generation in particular, completely out of control.
But so I mean, Titanic had Leo and who's Winona Ryder? Who the hell is it? I don't fucking know. And I've never seen Titanic.
No, it was Leonardo DiCaprio and that chick who's really, really good at acting, whose name I can't remember.
Nicole Kidman.
As I desperately search for the IMDb. Kate Winslet. God damn, and Billy Zane. He was the bad guy. He played Kate Winslet's husband.
The bad guy's the iceberg. Dead ahead.
That's true. He was the secondary bad guy. Iceberg. Dead ahead.
Also, no, the captain is the even worse guy in that scenario.
Also, at the end of the movie, the whole controversy with the door, like, that's the level of creativity James Cameron is operating at.
Yeah.
Like, the cast was like, "Oh, there's 3 people could fit on here," and he was like, no, fuck it, it's fine. Should we get a smaller door? No, it's fine. It's fine.
Well, you know, they wouldn't have had a choice of door on the Titanic, Ross.
Speaking of Hollywood and creativity, I watched the new Star Wars TV show.
Yes.
Andor, all 11 existing episodes over the last 4 days.
It's kind of weird because 4 days ago you said, I'm not watching this shit. Everybody tells me to watch it, so I'm not going to.
I wasn't going to. And more so, I was getting upset with the level of hype around the show, because I was like, it's fucking Star Wars. There's absolutely no way it's as good as you people are saying. And I'm not going to say it's as good as people are saying, but it is very, very entertaining. I highly recommend watching it.
Can you give me a synopsis?
It is the least Star Wars-y Star Wars thing ever made. Mostly, it could be that's the one thing that people were saying that I will agree with. It could be any universe. It doesn't matter. It's about like imperialism and rebellion and what both require in terms of sacrifice. And it's pretty fucked up. That's the other thing I'd say about it. Yeah, that's what makes it so great, is that it's like darker than you would expect anything on Disney Plus to be. No. Which is the thing that keeps it from being accurate when people say it's like Game of Thrones. They're like, it's Star Wars Game of Thrones. I'm like, there are no titties and dicks. This is not Star Wars Game of Thrones. But it is as close as they're ever going to get, I think. And it is very, very, very good.
Is it graphic in terms of violence?
Not really. Which is the other thing that keeps it from being Game of Thrones. But it's like,
sounds like fucking Peppa Pig.
People are getting murdered and shit, like in like main characters and shit.
Like how?
Like, you know, with a gunshot to the face, point blank, but you don't see the guy as the gun's going off, like that type of. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's good. It's really good. It's really. You're gonna have to take.
It doesn't
my word
sound like
for
Game
it.
of Thrones, but it sounds like it could be good.
It is. It is. I mean, it's the best I've seen them do with Star Wars so far. And the one thing that's weird about it, now that I'm through episode 11, I think there's only one more. Episode 12 comes out on Wednesday, the finale of Andor. I know that it is a prequel of sorts to Rogue One, the movie. And fortunately, I don't really remember what happens in Rogue One, because I feel like if I did, it would be sort of a downer for this show. So I'm curious if anybody listening, if you're watching Andor and you remember Rogue One, is it sort of bumming you out that you already know how this whole story ends eventually? Okay. Right?
I gotta relate.
It's like with House of the Dragon or Rings of Power, honestly.
So on a related note, my friend Randy said, yeah, I'm rewatch. He said to me he's rewatching Game of Thrones between House of the Dragon seasons because he's like, oh, I'm back in on the universe.
Horrible mistake.
He said in season 1 or 2,
I think it's 3.
Joffrey goes.
He literally tells you everything that's going to happen in one line. And I've been warning people about this for months.
He says it in one line.
He goes. I mean, I can't even make reference to it because it's too spoilery.
Yeah.
But if you're like, oh man, maybe I'll go back and watch Game of Thrones during this between season 1 and 2 of House of the Dragon, I wouldn't recommend that. And it's because you're gonna get one line that I know they wish they hadn't put in that show now because it spoils the entirety of House of the Dragon in terms of like what's going to happen long term.
And you can't even see. Does it come out of nowhere? Like you can't even skip it?
It's out of nowhere. There's no real way to see it coming. Joffrey, and it's funnier because it's Joffrey.
Yeah.
Like, it's the biggest asshole in Game of Thrones, and he drops this line that I had multiple people tweeting at me before the season of House of the Dragon began. Like, do not go back and watch Game of Thrones because this line will destroy it for you. And unfortunately, I've watched Game of Thrones so many times that I immediately remembered the line in totality, and I do, in fact, know more than I would like to know about House of the Dragon. But
didn't Joffrey die in season 2? It's got to be season 2 then.
Was it season 2 that he died?
I thought so.
I thought it was
because he got Ned Stark killed and then he got killed. No, spoiler. Oh, I can't do a spoiler alert. I already said it, but it's an old show.
Yeah, sure. See, no, Jared, he dies in season 4.
Joffrey?
Yeah,
damn, good for him. He lasted halfway through.
Well, you don't remember him being a total asshole and the most hateable character on TV for multiple years?
He was king for 3 seasons?
No, I don't even think he became king until like season 3.
He took over for Robert.
Are you going to tell everybody the entire plot of Game of Thrones the rest of the podcast? Is that what's going to happen?
That's a good point.
Robert dies too. Everybody dies in the end. Most of the people do die, in fairness. So I don't know how much of a spoiler that is. Anyway, Andor's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is one unfortunate thing about Game of Thrones. And it's a weird element of like a lot of the things that are being made right now, considering House of the Dragon, regardless of if you remember that or heard the line or whatever. If you watched Game of Thrones, you do know eventually what is going to happen to the area that all of the other story is taking place with. And with Rings of Power, that's a prequel in the Lord of the Rings universe. And you know eventually how that is going to end if you watch the Lord of the Rings movies.
Still haven't watched them, still haven't read anything. I know nothing about Lord of the Rings.
Insane to me. But I loved Rings of Power too.
Is it worth reading or is it a hard read? It's a hard read, right?
No, it's fairly easy read.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like I read the Hobbit books when I was like 14, 15, and I was pretty stupid, you know, at that point, comparative to now, where I'm the smartest man alive. So, yeah. Sure. For more RBP, go to patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. We have 3 full ad-free premium episodes available from November already. Pancakes versus Waffles with Jared and I, Car Fires and Crunk Juice with Kate and I, and then I dropped a solo episode called Potty Problems Podcast with hotline calls from our listeners, mostly revolving around toilet humor. And also a couple mental health minisodes for the enforcers and the OGs. Do mental health minisodes every month as well, talking specifically about different mental health topics, sometimes as they relate to me personally, sometimes as they relate to the whole wide world. And our last Patreon episode of November will drop next week, early in the week, because we are taking the rest of this week off for Thanksgiving. The only other show we'll be recording today will be Formula Bone, as Jared does the final recap of this F1 season.
Yep.
For what was the race? Abu Dhabi? Which came up earlier.
Butt plug.
With the butt plug ashes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It did.
Full circle.
Yep, full circle. And that's, it's the last recap, but the F1 season may be in the off season, but I'm not going to be cranking out F1 content all off season long.
Formula Bone has no off season.
It doesn't. That's a line that I say later on tonight.
Good.
Yeah.
So follow Formula Bone everywhere, at Formula Bone on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. And you can watch full episodes on YouTube where Jared has accumulated over 75,000 subscribers on the Formula Bone YouTube. If you are an F1 fan, get in there, support our man J-Bone, and check out the final recap of this season. But like Jared said, there will be content all F1 off-season long coming from Formula Bone. And if you're watching The White Lotus, We are covering that on our TV and film podcast, Oysters, Clams, and Cockles. It's the #1 House of the Dragon podcast in the realm when that is in season. But during the off season, we're going to be covering The White Lotus and Succession and perhaps some other stuff depending on what kind of time frame we're looking at. So, yeah.
I like White Lotus. I'm excited.
I haven't watched last night yet.
Oh, my God. I forgot yesterday was Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I was too busy burning through Andor. And then I started this show called 1899 on Netflix, which is exactly the same as the show that those creators made before called Dark, except on a boat, which I'm shocked by. Like, the similarities are shocking. Hit bolenmedia.com/shop for some RBP merch, some Formula Bone merch, the official Bone Zone t-shirt, Year of the Dog t-shirt. We've got hats. We've got coffee cups. I've got, what do I have here? It's just a Stack Good Days coffee cup in front of me right here. We've got mouse pads, all kinds of good stuff. You're doing holiday shopping.
There's a puzzle.
Go to bolenmedia.com/shop. There is a puzzle. You can get a Jared and Ross puzzle.
Jigsaw puzzle.
Give it to your biggest RBP fan in your life for Hanukkah.
If you and your significant other or your friend both are Bolen Media fans, that's a great gift to get each other.
It's dreary outside in the wintertime. You stay inside, you do the puzzle, and when you're done, you can crank onto it.
And finish in the finishing cup.
Wow. We have a finishing cup for sale as well, which is where you finish, if that wasn't clear. Until next time, have a great Thanksgiving. Peace be with you, and also with you.